Hi, my name is Melissa. We paid off $90,000 in debt and saved up a 6-month emergency fund. These are just some money saving tips that I still use and did use on our journey to save up money and pay off our debt. It took us, I think, about 5 years, give or take some. There was some things that broke in between there, like an air conditioner that cost us, I think it was $15,000. I'd have to look it up. I have chosen to forget that pain. Anyways, so here we go with the money saving tips. Please, if you could like and share so that this comes up in the algorithm more and I can get more people into these tips and saving money. The first one would be to shop your insurance annually. My husband is an insurance broker. I'm not trying to sell his services. If you're interested, you can obviously put a comment and I'll give you the information. But this is not about promotion of him or his services. This is just giving a tip. We do it annually. He does it annually for his clients. There are some companies like State Farm where you have to go specifically to a State Farm person, but a broker can get you a nice big set of people or set of companies to look at all in one place if you don't feel like doing the shopping around yourself. My next tip would be to also shop your phone, your internet, any utility that you have the option of. In Pennsylvania, most people have the option to pick their electric supplier. I don't because I live in a borough, so I'm stuck with them for my choice. But even let's say you don't have choices. I mean, the electric, I'm stuck with whatever price that the borough chooses. But for example, my internet, we have Verizon. We can't get Comcast because the previous owner dug up the lines for I don't know what reason. But so we haven't wanted to put the money into investing into Comcast because there's not been enough savings to make it worthwhile. But we have called Verizon and said, look, you've jacked up our rate. Can you do anything better for us? When you do this, you want to know what they're offering for new customers. And, I've lived here 5 years. Why am I not getting a loyalty bonus? And they usually will help out somewhat. Sometimes I can't get the rate that the new person gets, but I usually can get a little bit off, which any little bit helps. My other next tip, because I've lost track of numbers, is to stick with one streaming service at a time. We currently have Hulu. We do have Amazon. Trying to sell my husband on getting rid of Amazon, but that's been a battle. If you can, honestly, it's once you have $35 worth of items, you will get the 2-day shipping for free. Give it a try. What's the worst that happens? You don't like it and you go back. If you can sell yourself on that, I'm not going to push that one too hard because, like I said, I can't sell my husband on that, but I have sold him on only doing one streaming service that we pay for at a time. My next tip would be related to grocery shopping. If you live in an area where you have multiple stores, great. I mean, obviously don't spend so much time driving and on gas that it's not worth saving money, but for example, where I live, my choice is Giant or Giant, and then we have Walmart and Aldi's. I do generally hit my cheaper stores for most items like Walmart and Aldi's, but there are some items at Giant that are in their circular that are cheaper. So I will usually write down in the circular what I'm buying at Giant, go to Aldi's or Walmart or both for my cheaper items, and then I hit Giant and get whatever I couldn't get at the other two stores plus what was on sale. This works for me because I'm luckily enough in an area where they're all within a 1.5 mile radius of each other, so it really doesn't take me that much longer to do shopping at multiple stores. But you do you. At the very least, you can most certainly shop a circular and stock up on stuff when it is available. I also have the advantage of being a multi-hospital travel nurse, so I will sometimes hit stores that are not in my area, but I'm there and I will look at the circular online and pick up 1 or 2 items and leave if I have the advantage of having a store that doesn't have a minimum like Giant does. Like, for example, when I work near a ShopRite does not have a minimum. I can literally go in and buy the 3 or 4 items on the front of the circular that are dirt cheap and walk out of the store, and I have done that. Honestly, if you can do that and leave, you're probably going to spend less money on impulse buys anyway. The other thing I do is I track prices so that I know the lowest price in my area. At this point, I pretty much memorized it, but let's say you're brand new, I would just write it down in a journal, the items that you buy the most often. And you want to know their lowest price, and that's when you're going to want to buy them and stock up enough until the next time they're going to be on sale. I live in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, so I'm just going to give you a few examples of what I stock up on in my area. These might not apply to you, but if you live in my area, great, I hope I can help you. I do not buy chicken breast for more than $1.99 a pound. I do not buy pork chops for more than $2.49 a pound. Chicken legs, sometimes I see 79 cents a pound. At that point, I will buy a little extra than I normally use, but generally 99 cents a pound is what I'm paying for those. To chicken, beef. Oh, and beef, I don't pay more than $2.99 a pound for 80 or 85% lean beef. 90 just gets to be too damn expensive, and the 70% is gross to me, so I do not buy that, so I can't tell you the prices, unfortunately. My next tip is to shop thrift first when you're buying clothes, unless you need a specific item that you know you're most likely not going to find. But let's say, for example, school's coming up and I know my kids need some jeans and some basic shirts, just stuff to make together an outfit. I will go to the thrift store, buy some items, or hit some, for my little one this year, I actually hit yard sales, and I'm just going to buy a few items to supplement, just to have some neutrals to go with some of the different pattern leggings, and I think we have enough jeans, but I will go through and check and buy the few little fillers I need here and there. I also recommend shopping used first for most items. Be it from your car, although sometimes with this day and age, new can be nearly the same price as a used car, but that is getting better. But even furniture, the current dining room set that I'm sitting at, we got used from someone selling on Facebook Marketplace. It was a dining room table with 6 chairs, 2 extra leaves, one of those nice little china cabinets, and a little hutch. We paid $500 for everything. I can tell you for the quality of the furniture I got, I could probably buy the table for $2,000 brand new. We're going to pause this for a minute and let the dog out, and I will continue. Well, now that we've let the dogs out, we'll go on to the next saving item, and that would be, if you do have pets, look and shop around for a food that meets your quality standards. That's the lowest price that meets that standard. For us, it's generally Diamond dog food, but I do occasionally get lucky, and in the discount section of my Giant or Walmart, excuse me, I have found Iams for less than the Diamond, and even Petco and PetSmart do have their clearance sections. If your animals can switch food, it's great. Some animals, I understand, can't. I'm very fortunate that my dogs don't seem to mind switching and don't have too many stomach issues with that. You can also shop for used pet supplies like dog crates and such like that, items that you can wash and reuse. We also visit either vaccine clinics, or I buy the vaccines and give them myself. Our vet did recommend only buying Merck vaccines and not buying the ones from Tractor Supply just because of quality issues. I'm fortunate enough to have a store within driving distance, but there are some that you can go online and buy. I can give you the names if you need them and you are interested. But I give my dogs everything but their rabies, and then we go to a clinic for their rabies vaccine and basic checkup. My next tip would be to go green as much as you can. Obviously, everyone has their personal limits. We have bidets on our toilets so that we're using less toilet paper. My daughter won't, but I do use reusable menstrual products from the period underwear. I do have a reusable cup that I sterilize with a little microwave sterilizer, and I do just clean out my microwave afterwards. It's not that hard, but I do understand some people would be uncomfortable with that. We also use reusable, sorry, my brain just went for a minute, reusable kitchen scrubbers versus buying a sponge. The brand I currently use and like is Skoy. They're nice because I can stick them either in the dishwasher or the washing machine and clean them in between. I usually just keep two out. When I empty the wash, I put the one I was currently using in and then use the one from the dishwasher and switch back and forth until they go bad. I also limit our use of paper towels and use reusable paper towels. You can look them up on Amazon. You can even use scraps of t-shirts or whatever else you have for just basic cleaning. Trying to think of what else we use that is green. Right now it's not popping in my head, but as I think of more, I can give more tips in the future. We also try to go homemade as much as possible. I mean, use your common sense, and where you're not saving money, don't waste your time. Like, for example, I do make my own English muffins. Now, if you are happy with the cheapest ones like store brand, you most certainly will probably break even with buying, but my family enjoys my personal homemade ones better, and they've even said, and I've actually given the family member, they said they're the same quality as the Killer Dave's, which costs like, I think $5-6 a pack where I live, and I can most certainly make mine for like 25% of that price. Somewhere probably in the range of the cheap English muffins of $1.49 to $1.99 for a 6-pack is what it would cost me in supplies. At this point, though, I buy bulk, so I probably spend even less, but I haven't done a cost analysis in a while just because, like I said, my family does like that. I do also make my own cream of chicken soup, cream of mushroom, whatever. I basically buy the Better Than Bouillon concentrate. It's half a cup milk, half a cup water, the 1 teaspoon of the concentrate. I make a roux with 3 tablespoons of flour, 3 tablespoons butter. Then I add the half a cup of milk and half a cup of water with that 1 teaspoon of that Better Than Bouillon. And I make up, it basically makes the equivalent of 1 can of the cream of whatever kind of soup you're having. I also will look up just the basics of most things, like cookies are easy. You don't need to buy a mix. I will if they are on sale, but, you know, for basics that you use, I would look up in a recipe and try to make it yourself first. Most things do not really take that much longer. Like the cream of soup really doesn't take that much more time into a recipe. Those are my tips for today. Hopefully they're helpful to you. Like I said in the beginning, please like and share so that I can get some more followers, since this is a brand new thing I'm trying. Thanks and have a good day.